Hey guys, Trey Bender here with another episode of Program Stories. And today, I'm sitting here with my main man, Mr. Chris Cumberell. Chris, you and I actually went to Carolina Springs Academy together.
We did, yep.
So, I want to ask you, man, we're going to dive right into this. What got you sent there?
Well, I was just skipping school, not going to school. My parents would drop me off, and I would go to the student parking lot and figure out who was leaving and leave with them. Go smoke some weed. This is 9th grade, by the way.
Wow.
And I did this all through 9th grade, and my parents had enough. So.
Did you get escorted or?
Yes, I got escorted. I woke up, and I went outside, sat down on the back porch, smoked a cigarette, and these two guys walked around the back of the house. And I thought they were police officers.
Really?
Yeah. I just assumed it. They had handcuffs. I figured they were cops. And so I just did what they said and went along with it. Yep. If I had known different, I probably would have took off. I would have ran on foot.
I think that probably would have been a good thing to do in comparison. All right. When you first got there, what kind of was running through your mind?
I honestly don't remember. I remember walking in, and I was just in like a daze, like just trying to take everything in. You know what I mean? I wasn't thinking much. I was just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I had like this haze, and just trying to process what was happening because I'd never been to anything like that before.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know a lot of unknowns. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know where I was. Even though I am near Due West, I'd never been there before.
Really?
Nobody says, hey, let's go to Due West this weekend. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's kind of what I felt like when I first got there. I was like, wow, this place is literally called Due West, South Carolina.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't believe it. But that's literally what it was called. All right. So after this, what's the first thing that kind of happened that you realized, hey, something might not be right about this place?
Probably the second day when stuff started sinking in. I had the little buddy system, going on. I'm listening to what this dude's telling me. I can't remember who my buddy was, but it just seemed off. Like the second day I'm hearing about the upper levels of power trip. You got to watch out for that. I'm like, what? Kids power tripping? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it didn't click right away, but you figure it out quick. You'll figure it out fast.
Yeah. I remember that you picked up those rules real quick.
I broke them real quick too.
Me too.
Yeah, I was actually there from, I guess, 9th grade. So I would have been, 14 or 15. And then I was there until I was 18, a little bit over 18.
Really?
Yeah. Instead, I was already level 5 or whatever it was when I was 18, and my mom and dad told me to graduate that program. So I did. Coming out in the real world, trying to take it all on my own was going to be terrifying. So I stayed and graduated. I wanted me to, but that's a long time to be somewhere like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Missed out on pretty much all of high school.
Wow.
All of high school.
You ever look back and wonder what if?
I do all the time. All the time. Yeah. Definitely.
Hey, I was just thinking about that on the way here today. So I don't think you're the only one.
Yeah.
What is something that stands out in your mind that happened to you?
All kinds of stuff. I remember me and can I say other people's names? Okay, me and this other individual.
Yeah,
I was a level 2 at the time. He was a level 1.
Okay.
And I can't remember what I did, but I got knocked back down to a level 1 and had to go write the papers. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, it was called worksheets.
Worksheets.
And I remember going to write those papers too. And man, did I hate that. I spent a lot of time in there. In fact, I spent a lot of time in there with you.
Me, you and this other individual spent a lot of time in there. And I remember we racked up so many worksheets. And they sat down with us. I'm not sure if they sat down with you or not, but they sat down with me and him. And they were like, look, it'll take you months to get this done. We're going to wipe everything clean and let y'all start fresh. It literally would have taken us months to write all those words.
Oh, yeah.
And it was like that 4 months. So at least it felt like it. And just that sense of not ever being able to get out of that stupid building it's a lot of pressure on a kid, you know?
Yes, it does.
It's a lot of pressure on a kid to never feel like the hopelessness.
Yeah.
Never feel like you're going to make it out of this building.
I remember being in that building you're talking about. I remember it very well. And I remember being told that I had raked up about 80,000 words.
Yeah, we were up there.
How does somebody write all that? And even on top of that, they give you that many words to write, and then they keep adding on more.
Yeah, they just keep tacking them on.
So
just keep tagging them on.
It made it to the point where you just could not get out of there no matter how hard you tried. It was just more and more and more and more. And that's what it was designed to do.
Yep. Made your hands strong.
Yeah, that's about right. Remember going through pens. Remember that? Yeah, worksheets was not fun. And it was not fun at all. What's something else that stands out?
When I think back there's a few key memories. Like, I remember being, you work your way up. Level 3, you get to go to the horse deal.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember, we'd go out there for a while. And after a little bit, we realized that there's this hill in the back that's supposed to keep the horses in.
Okay.
But if you zigzag, you can get down this hill and onto the hunting trails there.
Really?
So we were riding these horses all through that property.
Really?
All through the property. And, we get back. And after doing this for a while, there was a couple kids there from Florida. And there was another one from South Carolina, Anderson, actually, that I've spoken with since being outside the program.
Really?
He wasn't there long. But we came up with a plan. I know these trails.
Okay.
I know these trails back there.
Okay.
And a couple of the night staff weren't as evil as, Mario. And
yeah. Oh man, that guy.
So
we'll get back to him.
We waited for one of these guys to come up. And we went to bed fully clothed. And we're laying underneath there and waiting for everybody to go to sleep. And I'm guessing it was probably 12, 1 o'clock. I hop out of bed and go to the bathroom when he's on the other side of the hall. I turn all the sinks on and stuff. And while I'm doing this, I flush the toilets. There's 2 of us doing this. While we're doing all this, one of the guys from Florida raises the window because you can get onto the window, onto the side of the roof, and walk to the balcony where the stairs lead down.
Mm-hmm.
We got that window open, and we cut everything off, and that dude we could hear him walking back across the hall. We jumped in our beds, and he walked in there. I guess all the noise, the reason we did all that was so you could hear the window.
Yeah.
And we hopped on our beds, and he comes walking through there, and he sees the window open. He didn't even say anything. He walked over there, shut it, because they had those books right underneath the window. We stacked them up so you could get up there and raise the window.
Remember those books?
He's looking at this. He goes over there and closes the window. I don't know what was racing through his mind, but he sat in the room with us from that night on. And they actually screwed the window shut not long after that. But man, we were just so close. So close. It was a pipe dream, though, I think, to get away.
I wasn't there for that, but I remember you being there. I remember getting there shortly, and I remember hearing about that story.
Yeah.
And I know the guy you're talking about. I remember both of them.
Yeah. None of those guys were there that long.
No, they weren't.
I don't know
the guy from Florida? He actually passed away.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Oh dear.
That sucks.
I want to talk about the staff though, because you mentioned Mario.
Yeah.
Let's talk
Good
about
old
that
Mario.
guy.
Well, I've had to shave ever since I was 13. So I get there, and then this guy's there who's crazy military style doing this stuff. And he
That
would
dog
take a
won't
card.
hunt.
He would take a card, a credit card, and or an ID, and he would run it up my face in the morning sometimes.
Yeah, he did that to me too.
Yeah, just to see. And man, bounce the quarter off the bed, all that jazz. He just took it way too serious.
You know, I want to ask you something about that guy.
Mm-hmm.
We'll call him Tony. Let's call him that, okay?
All right.
Let's call him Mr. Tony.
Mr. Tony.
Okay. Did you ever find it odd that Mr. Tony was the director's husband and she worked during the day and he was the night staff?
Yeah, we had jokes about that.
Okay.
Yeah, we had jokes about that.
I always wondered if I was the only one that saw that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, people talked about it.
People did talk about
We
it.
didn't. Yeah, we didn't talk about it much. We didn't want to get caught talking about it because if he heard about it, who knows what happened.
I know, right? I just recall this about Mr. Tony. There was this ongoing joke amongst the students and the staff about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was. You know, as strict as he was, when I moved down to the Dynasty building, me and another person who lives in South Carolina, he never locked that door.
I remember that.
Me and this guy snuck out.
Really?
Yeah, and we went down and we got into the main office, and like Mr. Dan's office, and just I don't know what we were expecting. You know, instead of taking off down the road like we probably should have, we just sat there and rambled through everybody's stuff.
Man, I wish I could have been there for that one.
Yeah.
I totally would have gotten in on that.
Oh yeah, it was exciting, man. The thrill of it. You know, you don't get that there unless you're getting manhandled.
Yeah. Speaking of violent staff like that, mind if we talk about that?
No, we dive right into it. So
I want to ask you this. You know, I wasn't there for this situation, but I think you know what I'm getting ready.
oh
to
yeah.
ask. You were assaulted by a staff member
Oh yeah.
in front of everybody.
In front of everyone.
You want to tell us what led up to that?
Sure. So we were leaving. I can't remember if it was lunch or dinner. I want to say it was dinner.
Okay.
And you know, this in particular staff member had a very odd haircut, and I was at the front of the line.
Okay.
And I don't know why, but being at the front of the line is like a big deal. You know, I like to be in it.
I remember that, you know,
I get
especially going to meals.
I get to finally control something, and that's opening the door.
Yeah.
You know, but I'm standing there. You know, I've got my hand, literally just my hand resting on the door like this. I don't know if the camera can see it. Just like this, two fingers sitting on the door handle.
Okay.
He says, "Take your hand off the door handle." I said, "All right," and I kind of, you know, I did it. All right.
Okay.
I kind of made this weird look. He said, "You know what? Just get to the back of the line." And I'd had a bad day all day leading up to this. And, you know, he had shared some personal information with the students. I don't know why he chose to do that.
I remember this staff, and he would do that.
He would talk about his personal life. And, you know, I'm walking up. As I'm walking to the back of the line, I am just railing this guy the whole way up there. I'm taking all my aggression out on this guy verbally. Yeah. I'm talking about his kids. I'm talking about his wife.
Yeah.
And his wife are having problems at the time. I'm bringing all this stuff up, you know, in front of everybody, yelling at me. And I stand at the back of the line, and he comes up behind me. This dude has got to be 300 pounds. He was a big fella.
Yeah, he was.
And, you know, I never heard him or saw him, but he came up behind me and just, you know, got me in a headlock like this, spun me around. And the lunch tables are a lot like these tables.
Yeah.
They're plastic.
Yeah, I remember.
He slings me around. You know, I land, you know, butt here, my back's here. and he just grabs me like this by the shirt and stuff. Left some bruises on my chest. Grabs me like this and just pushes down on me. And he didn't really say much, but he had a pin in his ear. And man, I reached up and I slapped that pin out of his ear. I said, "I hope you like your job because you just lost it." And I immediately, after this, I went to another staff member that I knew did not like him, because a lot of staff members didn't really get along with him. And I went to one of the guys I knew didn't like him, and I told him what had happened. I showed him my chest. He took pictures of it. He actually got something done about it. Surprisingly, they actually contacted my parents, and they let him go for the remainder of my time. I don't know if he got hired back on or not. I've heard rumors that he did, but I don't know for sure. Yeah.
Wow.
Another extreme, speaking of violence from staff, I was level 3.
Okay.
And I was taking out trash at night.
Okay.
And, the trash, you got to walk right past the OP building.
Yeah.
Well, there was a certain child in there.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I wasn't there for this. But after you tell the story, I want to ask you some more about the younger kids. But keep going.
So we're taking out trash, and we just hear this blood-curdling scream come out of that building. It wasn't like somebody being beat up. It was like somebody being hurt very badly.
Okay.
And, the very next day, this certain someone wasn't there. And, later on that afternoon, he came back, and they had taken him to the emergency room. They dislocated his shoulder and told the people at the hospital that he had fallen off a horse.
Wow.
Fell off a horse at night and dislocated his shoulder. I remember that.
That would have to be a pretty bad fall.
Yeah, that'd be a very bad fall. And that's the one thing that the sound of that. You know what I mean? Hearing somebody.
Yeah.
What am I doing? I can't do nothing. The hell, you know what I mean?
I had a similar situation happen to me when I was in Costa Rica.
Mm-hmm.
So I do understand. But did you want to help, or did you feel powerless to do anything? What?
Knowing my stature compared to the stature of the men that were in that building,
okay.
I probably what would I do? They're gonna rough me up if I go to bars in there trying to do something.
You're
You know
right.
what I mean? So
I remember times with these younger kids that were coming in, and I was seeing some of the things the staff was doing to these younger kids.
Mm-hmm.
You saw that too, right? Because by the time these younger kids who were like 12 and 13 started coming in, you and I had been there a while. We were considered old timers. So we pretty much knew there was nothing we could do.
Yeah.
But do you remember seeing those younger children begin to come in?
A few of them, yeah. A few of them. I don't remember how old they were, but they weren't like crazy young,
Yeah.
12, 13, 14, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I was 14 when I got there. So.
Oh, really?
Well, 9th grade, 14 or 15, something like that.
I was 16 when I got there. And I was going into the 11th grade.
Yeah.
Let's talk about school while you were there. What do you think that the school was like?
It was terrible.
Just terrible.
Yeah, it was terrible. I used to go to a school named Montessori here in Anderson, and it's like this special school, and they do a lot of you learn on your own terms sort of stuff with these kids, and it's elementary through high school, and by the time 4th, 5th grade came around, it was obvious that that's not for me.
Gotcha.
I need somebody sitting there with me. I need to be taught. I need to be taught this stuff.
I'm the same way.
There, they really give you a lot of freedom to do that sort of stuff. Not saying they did that at CSA. But at CSA, they hand you a book and they expect you to, learn this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
oh, yeah.
It didn't work out very well for me. I don't remember. I'm not book smart. That's for damn sure. I've got a lot of know-how, but I ain't book smart. My favorite part of school was being called to wash Mr. Cooley's car so that I didn't have to go. That was my favorite part of school.
You know what I used to do? I used to want to go to worksheets just so I didn't have to go to school.
Yeah,
Because
that says a lot about school.
you know, it just goes to show how much of a joke school was there. It was a self-paced program with a bunch of old, outdated books. And we just took the same test. So I would just go there, take the test, see what was on the test.
And then study for that.
And then just study the answers.
Study what's going to be on the test.
So I don't really think that I ever got anything out of that school. If you even want to call it that, I know I don't. Do you?
No, I didn't get anything out of it. Now, there was one guy, and he didn't stay there long. He's probably the fastest I've ever seen somebody come in and actually graduate. He was not there long at all. But he came in, and he was 10th grade, and he graduated graduated high school.
Wow.
There's no way he could retain all that information. But he got in there, and he got it done, that's for sure. I can't remember who he was. I don't know. He wasn't there long though.
Was I there?
I don't remember.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember. He really stayed to himself. I don't remember much about him. I just remember him telling me that he graduated because I was having trouble.
Really?
Yeah.
School there was really hard for me too. I think I took couple of those same tests like 5-6 times.
Math was really hard for me to pick up there.
Math was not something that was taken very seriously there because we didn't even have real teachers.
No, you had to sign up to see the teacher, and then you've got all these guys signing up to see the teacher, and then you're put in line.
You would get there, you would see that teacher for maybe 10-15 minutes.
Yep.
Because we had school in like 2-hour blocks. We'd go for 2 hours, go to group, have lunch, and then go back to school for 2 hours. However, you couldn't go to the second 2 hours if you were in worksheets. So it was just more important for us to be doing worksheets than going to school.
Yeah. The punishment was more important.
The punishment was more important, that's right. I want to ask you this. Some of the punishments that you did see, what do you remember?
I remember seeing a few kids get jacked up a lot. I don't remember ever being in the OP building and getting manhandled like a lot of these other people were. The only time I was in the OP building, they made me raise my hands up and stand there and stare at the wall.
Got that?
By then I had been there so long that I didn't. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Get your arms up. You know what I mean?
I remember having to do that where we would stand with our arms up like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, and when they told me to do it, I had been there so long too. It was like, okay, if that's what you want.
Yeah, just do it. But I was fortunate enough not to. I wonder if my location, because I bet a lot of them knew where I lived, had anything to do with it, because they know it would be easy for me to go back there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I guess they didn't want. I don't know. Who knows?
So Chris, you graduated the program.
I did graduate the program.
I gotta ask, was graduating the program a big deal? What do you think about it?
It's just another seminar.
Really?
Yeah, just another seminar. Just another thing to smile and nod, do what you're told, put on the show.
You feel like those seminars were a great big show?
Most of the time, yeah.
Most of the time?
Yeah, lied my way through most of them.
You and I had some seminars together, actually.
Yes.
And I remember faking it through those things, too.
We had that fake it till you make it.
Yeah, fake it till you make it. That's what everybody used to say. That's what we all said. It was fake it till you make it at CSA. That was for damn sure.
Yep.
Is there anything in particular in the seminars that stands out to you?
Just getting to be around the girls, I guess. That was the exciting part. You never get to see women, and then wow, you get to see women.
Yep, I remember somebody telling me those girls may not look good right now, but give it a few months and they're gonna look good then. And boy, was that guy right. Because that's exactly what happened.
I've heard that too, yeah.
They may not look like it.
Just wait a little bit.
Just wait. Just you wait. You know something, man? One thing that stands out for me in those seminars is one thing that I will never forget is this one particular woman standing up and talking about how she liked to cut herself. And that has always stood out in my mind because my first reaction when she said that was, this young woman needs some serious help and she's not going to get it.
Yeah, not there.
Do you feel like that school helped anything?
It may have done something for somebody, but not really. No, the accountability part, I get, and I try to teach my kids that you got to be accountable for your own actions, but not to the extent that they took it. But
It stuck with me too.
not really. It's just much more shit.
Did you take anything out of that school?
I realized that no matter what situation you put somebody in, they can always find a way to be happy.
You think so?
Yeah, man. Think about it. Even though we were miserable, there were times when we were having fun. There were times when we were joking around.
I will
laughing.
agree with that.
There were times we were happy.
Yeah. I'll agree with that. I remember there were times when we were living down in that dynasty room and I would sit by myself in that laundry room because sometimes it's the only place to
get away.
Just get away.
Yeah,
I mean,
get away. I used to go to the horse place and the horse stables and just go into the loft and just sit there just to relax and just get away. Like even when we were writing in papers, dude. Every now and then somebody would do something funny and you'd laugh.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or somebody would be cutting up or getting into it with
Oh
one
yeah,
of
we'd
the
always
staff.
have that.
I mean, so no matter how bad the situation is, there's a way to be happy. There is.
So that's something you took from the program?
That's something I took.
Is that about the only positive thing you took?
Probably. Yeah.
I don't think I took anything positive from the program.
Yeah. There's another situation. I just thought about this. I don't know if you were there for this. I was sitting on the couch when it happened. So level 4 or 5.
Mm-hmm.
Those couch privileges.
Yeah.
You didn't have to crisscross on the floor. Me and an Indian student and another student who's from Florida. We were all sitting on the couch. There was a guy who had just got there the day before, and this is another thing that sticks with me that I think about it every so often. I think about it.
Mm-hmm.
This guy raises his hand, asks to go to the bathroom. He goes in the bathroom. He's only been there for a day, and he comes barreling out of the bathroom with a bag over his head.
Oh yeah.
Runs straight through the double pane glass doors.
Mm-hmm.
Stumbles. I guess he was trying to jump off the balcony. Stumbles and then falls down the stairs. Dude, they immediately took him to the emergency room. I never heard anything else about it. I never saw him again. I don't know what that was about.
I remember this incident, and I know who that was because I was actually in Costa Rica with him.
Really? So
Mhm.
they gave him a boot down
Yeah, he. I remember the staff member running in trying to say that this guy had just tried to kill himself. I know this guy. I had a few run-ins with him. I remember that. I didn't see it happen, but I do remember it.
That was just crazy to see somebody do that.
Mm-hmm.
I think he was trying to.
Oh yeah, he definitely was.
He was trying to take the head dive off the balcony. I really think that.
I'm not going to say that that head dive off the balcony didn't run through my mind a couple of times. Not often, but I did kind of think about it.
Yeah.
But I never would have actually gone through it.
No.
I never would have done that. I just couldn't do it.
I never really contemplated
It did. I did think about it there for a second. Then I was like, all right, if I just take this. But then I was like, it might hurt. So I didn't do it. I want to ask you this. I never made it and got to the horse program.
Yeah.
Did Was that enjoyable? What did you think about that?
It was just a good look.
Really?
It was a good reprieve from having somebody breathe down your neck 24/7.
Really?
It was.
So you did find some solace in riding those horses?
Not even riding the horses. Half the time we would just climb trees.
Really?
Just get to the top of the trees and just sit there.
Wow. I never went down to the barn.
There wasn't much to it.
I got to go down to the barn when I went back to tour the facility or see what was left of it when I shot that video. So I got to go down there, and it was the first time I ever got down to the barn. And I was like, wow, so this is it, huh?
This is what everybody's talking about.
This is what all the hype's about.
Yeah, I made some good friends while I was there.
Still talk to any of them?
One, sometimes. We hadn't talked in a while. A few months.
Gotcha. Anybody I know?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you're in there.
Okay. Well, hey, man, talk to me, so now you got two.
Now I got two.
Now you got two.
Now I got two. I'm Facebook friends with a few, but actually talking to.
Actually talking to them, I get that. I get that why.
You know,
You really lose touch with people. All right. So I want to talk about your time on the upper levels. What did you take from that? And what did you think when it came your time to be doling out the consequences and supervising?
I don't remember giving out many. I remember almost name drop somebody. I remember my counselor, telling me that I wasn't writing enough. I just always looked at it as I'm holding this person back from getting through this. You know what I mean? But they got on to me. I had to write a couple little stuff. You know what I mean? Just to make them I was doing my thing. You're doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
Oh yeah.
But no, I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. It drove a divide between the lower and upper.
Yeah, it really did do that. And I think they encourage that. It's like they basically would tell you, hey, you gotta fuck these people over.
Yeah, you gotta keep them there longer.
Okay. Yeah. And if you don't do it, the staff will. And if you don't do it, the staff will do it to you.
Yes. Yeah.
So it was just designed to pit everybody against each other, just like in those seminars. What do you think? The seminars were like that too?
Yeah, to a point. Yeah.
To me, I remember this. They would get us up there, get us all together, remind us of things that we had done, and then it got to the point of, who are you willing to throw under the bus to get through this? So I remember doing that to somebody, and I regretted it. To this day, I regret the fact that I had thrown this particular guy under the bus in one of those seminars.
Happens.
It happens.
It happens. I mean, it happens.
Doesn't mean I don't regret it. You know what I mean?
Hey, did what you had to do.
Definitely have to do that.
It's like you were them. I mean, what are you gonna do?
Yeah. What are you gonna do?
It's the same thing with the corrections. What are you gonna do?
Nothing.
They don't give you. They don't give you an option.
No.
You have to. Unless you want to go write some more words. So, that's where you're headed.
They're definitely that. Definitely that.
Yeah. I also remember this is an odd story.
Okay.
So I can't remember what his name was, but we were in the Dynasty building,
Okay.
and the bunks were three stacks? They were double stacks.
They were double stacked bunks.
So he slept above me.
Okay.
And I didn't really like this fellow at all. He didn't like me that much. We had gotten into it about something.
Okay.
And, level 3 or 4, I don't remember what level I was, but I know I can't fight. I can't put my hands on this guy. And I took a marker and drew on his jacket.
Okay.
And it was, and I just went back to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
I just felt like that would show.
Yeah.
That'd teach him a lesson. And so he freaks out one morning. He's got this huge mark on his jacket. And they can't figure out who the hell did it. And it was a toss-up between me and this guy who lived in Georgia. And they didn't know who to punish. Well, so they said we're just going to punish both of them.
Sounds like something they do.
We both start freaking out. Like, no, we've worked so hard to get to this point. What are you talking about? You don't have any proof of anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did it on his own for all we know. And they said they were knocking me down to level 1, right? They put me on a top bunk, moved me back upstairs, but they never wrote anything down on paper.
Mm-hmm.
And this for like a week, I'm thinking, fuck, level 1, I can't have nothing. And then I realized one of the other staff members says, "Why are you doing all this?" And I was like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "Well, you don't have any of your stuff. You're sitting on the floor. You're sleeping on a top bunk. Why are you doing all this?" And I was like, he's like, "You're level 4. Why? Or 3 or whatever it was." And I was like, "Oh crap." I didn't dare say anything.
Of course not.
I shut up. I slept on that top bunk, and I did not talk about any of my stuff. I didn't mention anything to anybody. I just lived like a level 1 for a while.
Okay.
I just kept my mouth shut.
Mm-hmm.
It ended up working out. So.
Well, I'm glad to hear that because that's exactly what I would have done. I remember there were corrections that I would get. Then I'd wake up early in the morning and I'd volunteer to go and sweep the stairs.
Yeah.
Because you could sweep the stairs by yourself. So luckily the staff who gave me those corrections that night wasn't working the next day. So I ran downstairs before anybody was in the kitchen, grabbed them out of the book, tore them up, and never said anything.
We used to
totally got away with it.
I remember doing that a few times.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't just me.
No, snatching corrections.
Oh man, we would stash those things. I remember flushing them. I remember just putting them in my pocket.
Shoot, there was one time I snatched one, and then the dude walked into the room while I was in there. I had this thing in my hand. I balled the joker up and I ate it. I was like, "There's no way I'm getting this correction. No way." I was like level 3 or something. No way.
I remember throwing them behind that bookcase that you were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
And then one day they pulled it back. Apparently, I wasn't the only one that was throwing them back. So, listen, man, stashing those things was always big, man. Everybody did.
Everybody grabbed them up.
Oh,
if you had the opportunity.
If you had to get the opportunity to snatch them, that's for sure. All right. So, anything else that kind of stands out in your mind? Anything?
After the program.
Yeah, tell me about that.
Coming home was really weird. I was there pretty much all of high school. So I hadn't built any friendships.
Yeah.
Good, solid high school friendships that you would have built with people.
Yes.
So I really felt alone,
Yes, I do know.
I'm an only child. I just felt alone, I had friends, they came over every once in a while, but I don't know. It just, after being around people 24/7. Yeah. And then for a long time, I just felt alone. Now I just want to be alone. I want people to leave me alone.
I get that too. Something similar happened to me when I got out of there. Like my first week out there, I remember going to the mall, just walking around, just not knowing how to function. I'm just like, I don't have to go through that door. Okay.
I don't have to ask.
Yeah,
raise my hand. Can I go to the bathroom?
Yeah, that's what happened to me when I got out of there. I for several months did not know how to function.
Yeah.
So I'm an only child too. I was practically an only child because my big sister is 14 years older than me.
Yeah.
So naturally, by the time I was a teenager, she was off living her life.
She was gone.
Yeah. So I was pretty lonely, and when I got out, I didn't have friends like that either.
I just felt like, and anytime I was hanging out with my friends, I felt like I didn't have the same bond they had with each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Because when I got out, I went right into public school for my senior year. So there was a bunch of people that had been going to school for 4 years. Yeah, and me.
So I didn't get the graduation from high school. I didn't get the prom. None of that sort of stuff. You know, my class graduated. I was out to go to the graduation, but I wasn't in the graduation. You know what I mean? I had a buddy of mine invite me.
Really?
Yeah. And he lives somewhere else now, so he's not even around here. He joined the Air Force. So I don't even see him anymore. He's probably my closest friend. I don't even talk to him. Well, he's one of them. I got another guy I still talk to. So.
Did you have trouble after you got out? Like what?
Well, you know, not having those solid connections. Who knows? Maybe I would have been hanging out with the wrong crowd the whole time, anyways. But yeah, I got into drinking and smoking real heavy. Completely sober for like 10 years now.
Mm-hmm.
But for a while, that was really rough. Really rough. In and out of jail sort of stuff. Really. Couldn't hold it on a job. Yeah, it was bad for a while. It's all good now.
I'm glad to hear
It's all
that.
good now.
So would you say that the program led you to this once you got out?
No, probably not. I probably done it anyways. You know, I was hanging out, drinking, smoking weed before.
So was
But I was trying to make friends when I was doing it.
yeah.
So that probably played, to the extent that I went, could have played a part. Who knows? Who knows? You know, I may have just gotten all out of my system earlier. You know, instead of being in the program, I may have gotten it all out of my system earlier and then gave it up sooner and gone. But you know,
I feel that. You know, I actually relate to that because, you know, I think you and I had a lot of similar experiences. You know, I didn't make any progress in the program like you did.
Yeah.
I remember trying real hard, still couldn't do it. I think one thing that held me back was my family rep. I want to ask you.
I remember who you had. Yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't have the same one I did.
No, we didn't have the same family.
I remember
rep.
who you had. Yeah.
I want to ask you about your family rep. What did you think about him?
I thought he was extremely manipulative. Extremely manipulative. It's like with my parents. Especially my parents. You know, I don't know their conversations, so I can't really tell you, but I know that they didn't trust me when I told them stuff.
Really?
Yeah. You know, you could just see it in their eyes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, you know, when I graduated, they handed me a stack of letters like this from my girlfriend. When they sent me in, she was my girlfriend. She had been trying to write me the entire time. Never gave me any of them. I really hated that because she is beautiful. So, who knows where that could have gone? But yeah, they handed me a huge stack of letters, and I was just thinking, you son of, you know, like why would you hide that from me?
Do you think that they hid a lot of things from you?
Yeah. Like just how my mom and dad felt about everything. You know, you never knew. I didn't like him too much.
You didn't like him?
No. He was a whole lot easier to get along with than yours. Your guy was
Woo,
he was
my
something
family rep. Now that
was
is
something
a
else.
complicated story. The relationship he and I had, don't you think?
Yeah. Well, just relationship with him and everybody.
So I think you probably saw the relationship I had with my particular family rep, huh?
Yeah. I saw it.
And it was probably not, I think anybody could look at the two of us and tell it was not a good relationship by any means.
Not at all.
And this was no secret amongst the students and the staff, now was it?
No.
Not at all.
No. You could tell. I mean, you didn't even have to. You could try to hide it, but
The-
you could just tell the interactions between the two. You know what I mean?
Yes. I remember a lot of those interactions very vividly. And I never backed down from that guy, not one time. I knew when I met him that I was not going to give him that satisfaction. Wow.
Yeah, a lot of times I remember sitting there, you know, because I was there for a long time, and I've seen people come and go. You know, the whole lineup was different from when I came in to when I left.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I just sit there and like, is today my day? Am I gonna get pulled today? Something's gotta happen.
Yes,
I've been
yes,
here for
yes.
so long.
Mm-hmm.
All these faces have changed. Am I gonna leave today? You know?
What did you think? This is what happened to me. What did you think when you would see the people that came in after you and then left before you?
I was happy for them. They did it. You know?
I was happy for people when they got out of there too.
Yeah. I mean,
You know, I remember there'd be days, and I would think the same thing. Is today going to be my day? Because they would stand up and be like, somebody's leaving today.
yeah.
And I'm like, oh,
Is it me?
is it me?
Yeah, my birthday rolled around one year. And I think it was like my second birthday there or something. And I'm just sitting in the breakfast table like, they're coming to get me today. It's my birthday. How can they not? You know, I've been here for this long. They got to come get me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it never happened.
What did you think about holidays there? Thanksgiving, Christmas.
The first ones were really tough.
Yeah, they were.
And my mom and dad would send me pictures of them doing stuff. And thanks, I guess.
Yeah.
You know, I like having those pictures now. I still have them, and I like having them. At the time, though, it was just like, why can't I be there? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But who knows? You think stuff like that, but then you also got to think, would I even be there? You know, or would I be running off with my friends? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Would I even be? So,
Oh yeah.
You know, I held a grudge for my mom and dad for a long time, but I've let that go. You know, they were doing what they thought was best. It was honestly the program's fault. They were lied to, just as I was lied to.
Yeah.
They were lied to. They were manipulated just like me.
Yeah, they were.
It's really not their fault. Honestly, I know with my mom and dad, I know that they were just trying to do what they felt was right. You know?
You know something, Chris? I want to tell you something. For a long time, I went about a lot of things in the wrong way.
Yeah, we all do.
And if anybody went about that the wrong way, it was definitely me. I called for violence. I was a loud voice for that too. I admit to that. But I really realized that some of those same people who went through and graduated like you did, they were victims too.
Oh, yeah.
And I never thought of them as such because they were the ones dealing out the punishment.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wasn't until I got older and realized, hey, you know, you were just as much of a victim as I was.
Yep.
And the parents were victims too.
Mm-hmm.
Parents
They
were
were.
lied to.
They were.
And I want to ask you this. Do you feel like the era that we went was just that post-Columbine era? That's what I like to call it.
Post-Columbine era?
Yeah. A few years after Columbine, parents were freaking out. At least that's what it was for my parents.
I don't know how my mom and dad were about that. I don't know.
Gotcha. These programs, they victimized parents, families in general.
Yes, they did. My mom and dad didn't get remarried when I was there.
Really?
Yeah,
Well, that's good.
that is good.
Once I got out of there, my parents started to kind of see what was really happening.
Yeah, I think my mom and dad did as well. You know, hearing me talk to them about it and stuff, hearing my stories, you know, they had no idea. Mr. Day wasn't going to tell me that sort of stuff. Of course not. They wouldn't have told me how true day-to-day life they was. You know, they're not going to tell me that.
Let me ask you this. When you were on the upper levels, did you ever staff OP?
I don't remember. Oh, no. Staff OP, the building stuff?
Yeah.
No, I never staffed OP.
Because there always had to be like a student with the staff, you know?
They always took this other guy when I was upper level. He was from Florida. No. Yeah, he was from Florida. Tall, burly dude, big fella.
Do you remember him?
I remember his name. Yeah, but they always called him out.
Let me ask you something. I want to ask you something about that guy. Well, how do you feel knowing that he murdered someone?
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Name starts with a J.
Yeah,
Really?
his name's Justin. Yeah.
Yeah. Really? No, I did not know that. Holy crap.
He murdered somebody
Hey. Was it unjustified? Or was it?
over drugs.
Wow. No, I didn't know that. Oh, that's wild. That's wild.
Knowing him the way you and I did, though,
Yeah.
does it surprise you?
It's over drugs, yeah, kind of. You know, I would have kind of expected him just to go full, Jack the Ripper or something. He was always kind of quiet. He was like odd. He always had this odd demeanor. About
He did about them. I remember him. He came in 3 days before I did, so he and I kind of talked a little. But I got to know him, and I got to realize he was
Something just didn't seem right.
right.
He was just
He was
a little
very
off.
he was very violent.
Yes.
He did not show this level of violence, but I saw it. And yeah. Oh yeah.
Dang, he killed somebody. That's wild.
Yeah. He's awaiting trial down in Florida right now.
Dang.
But I do know the
I guess
guy.
we know if the program helped him or not.
Yeah, I guess we do. I guess we do. Chris, is there anything else you want to add or talk about?
Not really. Not that I can think of. Not really.
There's something I want to ask you.
All right.
If you could talk directly to the former staff, especially the one that assaulted you, what would you like to say? Talk directly to them.
If I could talk to him individually,
Okay, him individually.
I probably wouldn't do much talking.
I think I know kind of what you would do.
Yeah.
We're just going to leave it at that.
All right. I actually have bumped into one of the staff members.
Really?
Night staff, the dark-skinned fellow, night staff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen him around. Of course, he was always really nice.
Yeah.
You know?
I know who you're talking
So,
about.
yeah, I've given him a ride before.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he lives around here.
Giving former staff a ride.
Former staff a ride, yep.
I have to say, Chris, you are a far better man than I am.
Well, he was a good fellow, man. He never did. I never saw him treat anybody unfair.
I can understand.
Not that I can recall. He was
Now
always
that
nice.
I can understand.
He was always level-headed. So,
If you could talk directly to your former family rep who lied to you and your family, what would you say to him?
I wouldn't want to talk to him.
Wouldn't want to talk to him?
I know him. I don't know. He's just. You know what's crazy about him is that he's got such a kind
Yeah,
face and a kind voice.
yeah.
And he sounds sincere.
And he's a
Like,
good-looking guy.
Yeah, and
he just
sings-
looks like that good guy that you
Yeah,
want to.
the good family man that you can trust.
Yeah, he's not
He
somebody that you would pick out of a lineup as being who he is.
No, you wouldn't at all. But I've actually written on his Facebook page.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, he posted a picture of a group photo of everybody, and I can't remember what I said, but it wasn't too nice. He never responded. But I don't think I'd really want to see any of those people. You know? No. I bumped into the day staff before too. His name starts with a G. Tall fella, dark skinned as well.
I didn't know. Man. He must have come after
No,
me.
no, you know, older guy. I'll tell you his name.
Oh, yes. Okay. Now I know who you're talking about. How could I forget?
Yeah. I bumped into him. He was actually never mean to me either. But
Oh, he was
used
really
to-
mean to
He
me.
used to jack up some kids.
Oh, he did it to me.
Yeah, he would jack up some kids.
Oh, he did it to me.
You know, there was one of his friends got hired on there. Had real messed up teeth, huge guy. He was huge. Do you know what I'm talking
Oh,
about?
I know who you're talking about.
And the first day he was there, he came into the bath. Like I'm in the bathroom, I'm brushing my teeth. I get done, putting stuff up, and I just see this, massive man walk around the corner, and he looked like a linebacker or something. He was huge, and he just runs at me, and I get like this, and he just slides me back, and he just starts laughing. But his laugh was not a normal laugh. It was dude, that guy was scary. That dude was scary.
He was scary. Oh, and he hurt a lot of people. He did.
Could you imagine the damage he'd do if he bit somebody with his nagging looking teeth?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I remember that guy.
He had to be in a gang or something.
Probably. Do you feel like any of these staff members had any credentials to be working in trouble team?
No, none of them. Not a single one. No, except for the night staff that would pass out the Bibles. He
Yes.
may have had some training, but no, I don't think any of these other guys did. No, they were just there. They needed a job.
Yes.
I think there was like a clique, except for the guy who was holding like the Sunday stuff.
Yes.
I don't think he was in the clique. I think everybody else was in this clique that got each other hired on. They all knew somebody that knew somebody that got them in there.
Oh yeah.
It was a big family.
Yeah, it was.
And literally, some of it was a big family.
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
But,
Chris, is there anything else you'd like to say?
Not really. I don't think so.
Okay.
I think that's it.
Well, Chris, man, thanks for doing this today, man.
Thanks.
It's been so great to see you.
Oh, yeah.
Guys, Trey Bender here with Program Stories. This is Chris Cumberell. Thanks so much.